Guys, we got a 2015 Honda Accord, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, same procedure. And we're gonna say, let's see if 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, it's a turbo, but it might be similar. But anyways, Honda, we're gonna do the transmission flush. Customer went and got me 4 quart. That's what usually originally I drain and fill with. He got me a little bit of extra. And then we got this crush washer, part number on this guy. There's nothing on this. Crush washer, you can pick it up from dealer, 50 cents probably. And then we got a couple of O-rings. We got an O-ring here, part number, it's a small O-ring. And then we got a little bigger size, part number on this guy, you guys can figure that out. And then we got the largest O-ring right here. This is all for the transmission cooler down there, the housing, the cooler housing where transmission filter goes. So we're going to be replacing, the main job here is replacing this transmission filter right here on this Honda Accord. This is the main job, so you guys gonna get a first hand view on this. And there's a part number on this guy, and we're gonna start this job by removing this battery and get everything out of the way. Once that is done, then we will drain out the fluid. Do not start the engine. You don't want the old fluid going in here. You'd rather just change this first, then go down, take out the fluid, and I will show you a drain plug to check the level as well. Anyways, let's get this job started. Okay guys, to start this job, what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect this sensor. Okay, a lot of times you will get a check charging system. It could be a bad sensor, it could be a bad horn fuse over here, it could be anything. You always want to disconnect this and connect this back. Sometimes this is left loose. Even if you tighten it and it goes away, sometimes it just becomes loose. Anyways, I did tell the customer prior to this, if he has a radio code, memory loss, idle speed going up and down, to do the job this way, I do need to disconnect the battery. So if that happens, anyway, you guys gonna have a bracket here. This guy has something crazy, and what we're gonna do, we drop that, so I don't want to drop anything here. Anyways, I'm gonna get that guy out of there. So this is aftermarket battery holder here. I don't like these. Anyways, let's get this baby out of here. Oh, and I'm dropping that rubber piece. I'm gonna have to pick that up now. Anyways, don't like this little guy. Okay, come on, battery mount. Let it go. There you go. That should do it. And this side should come off fairly and easily. Ooh, what is this guy put on here? Just gonna tap it a bit. Doesn't even want to go down this sleeve. And that falls. Everything is just falling because of this battery mount. Okay, this thing has to slip through this rubber, and this itself is just holding it. There you go. That's not how it should be. Okay, anyways, once I have this guy off, our battery bracket should just come off. Shouldn't be this difficult to take off. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take off this little guy completely, because this sound system cable goes right through. These are all the mods. That's why they charge extra. If you go to a shop, something like this doesn't bother me, but when I'm recording, things are just, your car might not have none of this stuff. Anyways, you see that? Just to get this out, I had to go through hassle. Okay, anyways, I don't want to lose this guy, so let's put this guy back together. And once this is out, you should be able to disconnect your batteries, both sides. And after that, we should be able to get this battery out of the way, just like so. Anyways, next step, we're gonna take off this bottom piece. Let's save this, and we gotta still find that red piece down there. Once I do the transmission flush, I will be able to get it. And here's the battery hook right here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, right now, we're gonna remove this 10mm, and we're gonna remove this 10mm. I believe these two are just holding on to this little guy. And then we're also gonna take off this little guy. You can even remove these just by pulling these and leave them hanging there. I'd rather do it this way. Okay, the housing is right down here, so that's where we need to get to. Okay, a few more things before we go that deep. Okay, there is a bolt going cross. Okay, I'm gonna show you that once it's out. So there are bolts going cross on this battery holder here, battery brace here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna fish out that little bolt. I'm using this 12mm swivel right through here, and I'm gonna guide it with my fingers, and then I'm gonna turn it with my electric drill, and that baby should come out. Okay, so I finished loosening. All I did was do like 3-4 threads, and my socket is stuck down there, so we're gonna get to it. We're gonna take off this 12 right here completely. The bottom one we just loosened. There's a reason why we just loosened it. I'm gonna show you guys. And there's our second bolt. This whole thing, unless there's one more bolt. Let's see. I thought it would move, so I guess there's another bolt down there. Okay, come on now. Okay, I guess there's not another bolt. This little guy just held it right in place. Now this guy is stuck. So I'll take both of these 12mm out. And okay, there is another bolt. Okay, I see there's another bolt right over here. Yep, there's another bolt right over here. So we might end up taking our air box here just to get to that bolt right here. So there's a bolt on this side as well. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take off this little guy right here. So loosen this about 5 to 6 threads, or try to get it as much as you want. Go all the way if you like, but once it's loose enough, should be good enough. Disconnect this sensor right here if you don't want to put any stress to this little guy, and let's remove this little guy right here. So just push back on the tabs and this guy will come off. Put that baby to the side, and we got a 10mm on this side of this air filter housing. If you like, you could just pop this half of the filter out, just to give you guys some information. Make sure you put this somewhere safe, no dirt, nothing gets in there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put this bag up on it so nothing gets in this guy. Anyways, at this time you can also change your filter. Woo! And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this 10mm. So what we're gonna do is let's get this baby off, and after that we should be able to just pull this air filter housing off completely. Put this baby upside down so all the dirt can just come out of it. And right over here, I got my socket stuck down there. I might have to take it all apart, and then you should be able to see it. But anyways, we're gonna loosen up this bolt. It is like a fork, so it slips right through. So just loosen it, okay? 12mm wrench. So we got a 12mm wrench right here. Gear wrench. Turn this baby counterclockwise. Couple of turns, it should release this little guy. Okay, and you see this is sitting on top of it, so we're gonna have to push this baby to the back of it. And guess what? A few more things that might be attached to it. I like this filter housing here. Let's see what's bothering us now. Okay, that's a 10mm right down here, right down here. I'm gonna get that off too. So I took my electric drill with the 10mm socket, and I loosened up the bolt right down here. You see my hand is going right through. So this thing is right there. You see right there where my hand movement is? Right in there in that little hole. You can see right through it. And this is what this baby looked like. Put this to the side. And guess what? This whole thing. And we got a ground now. We got a ground bothering us right here. So we're gonna remove that little guy right there. So it should be a tab. I'm gonna show you guys this in more details once it's all out. So what I did was push the tab and push the little retainer off, and magic. There's the magic. This guy comes off. So far, we took the air filter housing. We loosened up 2 of these bolts right here. One with this socket on. I'm gonna leave that socket there till it's done. Anyways, this is the second one. This is the little guy that's underneath, so you gotta push on this tab and slip this at the same time, and then you got a 10 millimeter right here. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 things to do down here. And guess what? There's the baby. He's looking right at us. So we're gonna replace this guy. Okay, next step, you might want to blow some air in and clean this up. I use this brake cleaner, this parts cleaner, and I spray this baby down really good. Okay, the pressure will blow everything out of there. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. What I want to do next is I want to take a few rags, dirty rags, doesn't matter what you use. Just put a few of these down here because you're about to have a big mess down here, and it's better you capture it all and don't let it go crazy. Put a few rags. I'm gonna take one more rag, so whatever drips on top of these and it collects it. Anyways, 12 millimeter, and there's one more down here. There's a 12 millimeter all around, and that's everything. So it's only 3 bolts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our ratchet ready, deep socket. We'll do so, and maybe a little bit of extension with that. Okay, got me a 12 millimeter with a small extension. What I want to do here is right in the bottom, let's try to get the bottom bolt off first. We're gonna there you go. You want to loosen the bottom bolt first because it's hard to get to, and when you're putting it back together, you want to get the easiest bolt because it's gonna hold it in place for you and line it for you. Just don't tighten it all the way, just snug it a bit. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna take our time with this bolt because this bolt feels crappy. No power tools right now. Take your time, go easy. And let's see if I can get it off by hand now, which I doubt. So this is one of the best detailed video you guys are gonna see out there. If you guys like my channel and you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. And I got tons of videos coming out. It gets better and better. Don't worry, I'm not gonna forget that socket there. Okay, so once I got this baby out, just want to capture everything in the camera. I don't want to skip this part at all. Okay, it's a pretty long bolt. This is what it looked like. That's one. Now we should be able to tackle the top 2 bolts. Okay, there you go. And you're gonna start to see drips probably very soon. That's okay. The fluid's no pressure in there. So another thing you should do is just let it cool off. Let the car cool off so you don't burn yourself. One of my friends told me I love working on cars as soon as they walk in, and he said that he worked for me for a little while, so he said that he worked on cars that were more hotter than a hot dog. It's a good joke. Anyways, this is the 3rd bolt. You're gonna start to see fluid come down at this time, so try to get your rag to capture as much as you can, and try to keep an eye on it. If you think probably a cord came out of there, that'd be the extra you want to put in. But there is a little guy down there, like a little bolt that's you can check the level from. So you're gonna have to start the car up, make sure it's nice and warm, and then shut her off within the first 60 seconds. You want to open that drain, and it should have drips in it. If it doesn't have anything, that means it's low. Anyways, this last bolt is coming off. There it is. And this little guy is in there, so you're not gonna see it, but those seals are gonna rip apart. You see the 2 seals? Those babies are in there. So anyways, Let me put this filter in out of the way. And not a lot of came out, not a hell of a lot of came out. Anyways, these seals gotta go. Okay, that's why we got new seals. Okay, right now what I want to do here is I want to take a moment, pause my camera for a bit, and then okay, we're back. So what I want to do is I want to get a clean rag. I got myself a clean rag. I want to clean this outer edges so all the dirt just goes out of it, not inside. Remember, I haven't taken out the filter yet, okay? There's a reason for that. Once I pull out that filter, it should scoop out any dirt that's on our way. Also, before you you can take off the seal on this if you like, but there's an O-ring here and it's all crunched up, and there's an O-ring right here, all crunched up. Clean this baby really well. Okay, I want to show you a small trick. Got me a blade. You could just get a blade. You don't need the whole thing, just a blade. It's called a scraper. We're gonna scrape all this extra off. Like I said, it doesn't have to be shiny and nothing that we're gonna eat off. Just make sure it's nice and flush, and that's it. Same thing on this edge. What I like to do is I like to do it outward, okay, outward, and then just scoop it right off real quick, okay, and outward. And in the bottom, try to go downward, 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 and that way none of your dirt gets inside. So the main concern here is this little guy needs to be nice and clean so your seals can sit nice and flush. Let me get this guy. This guy keeps bothering me. This positive cable is no joke here. So try to go inside the grooves here, clean it up with your rag or so. Anyways, there you go, nice and clean. That's what I like. Time for me to go get a tool and we're gonna pull out that filter. Okay guys, so I got a couple of tools here. If you got a flathead screwdriver, you could use a flathead screwdriver to pull out this filter, or you could use a pick to pull out this filter, which is what I want to use. I like it because it's angled. You could have any tool such as this, but let's use a pick. But if you want to use a flathead screwdriver, you can do so, and it should be nicely and easily for this guy to come out. And there's our filter. Let's get some lighting going on this baby, and it should be very simple to take off this guy. This thing has about 70-some thousand miles on it. You should do it about 60 to 70,000 miles on it, and do flush in between, and then do complete service. There it is, the baby's out. And make sure all the metal particles in there. You see there's a lot of metal particles. I'm going to try to clean in there. So it's a lot of metal particles sitting right here, and it did not let it go inside, so we still need to clean the area up. Let's put this baby to the side. So what I want to do is, there's a lot of metal particles here, a lot of metal particles right here, sitting right here. So before they go inside, let's pull them out. And they're not going to go inside because there is a groove. And just keep it using a clean rag. Try not to push it in, just try to scoop it up and out. And there we have it. It's nice and clean in there. Everything is out. Moment of truth. Okay. So remember, we had 3 rings in there. So the one, that's this part number right here. And so let me show you that again. There you go. So now, take that out. I just ripped up the package with my teeth. So this is the little guy. Part number again. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this ring. This ring goes on your filter right here, just like so. See that? Put a little bit of oil around this and stick this baby in. And by oil, I don't mean engine oil, I mean transmission fluid, the CVT fluid. So just take some, go around it. And what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna clean my finger off with the rag. I did so. You're gonna take this guy. It doesn't matter which angle, but make sure your seal doesn't come off. And this baby should click right in just like that. Ooh, that's done. Time for us to get the other 2 seals in. So we got 2 more seals. You guys can see there's only 2 left, so you can't go wrong there. One is big, one is small. I'm gonna get them both off the package. That's this little guy. Just try not to stretch it, even though I stretch the back, don't stretch the seal. So this little guy, I'm sorry for all that movement on the camera, should fit right in, and it does have little grooves that it's gonna grab onto, and it shouldn't fall out so easy, but do keep an eye on it so it doesn't come down. And I don't like these seals, even though the customer went and got everything. It might say Honda package on it, but I don't know. I don't trust anything out there. Anyway, that's in. I'm gonna hold that in place. Let me get the second one out. Should have got them both out together. Okay, getting the second one out of here. Okay, there you go. So this little guy goes down here. Crush it in. Make sure it's nice and flush. Okay, and now the hard part, you want to take this little guy, monitor it doesn't fall down. Make sure you hold it just like that. Once you hold it in place, the seal shouldn't come out. I'm gonna get my bolts. Okay, there you go. That's one. Do not want to let go of the housing because it's holding the seals against it, and we do not want to move that because the seals will go off spot. Once you get one in, you might want to tackle the second one. So there is an easier way to do this. A lot of people will just go reach from the bottom and do it blindly, and they won't even change your seal, just get the filter out of there. But the proper way to do it is you gotta start removing these things. Okay, take everything apart just like I did so you can get a clear view of it. Do it yourself is the best. Anyways, we're gonna pull up the camera a bit. From right here I should have a good angle for me to capture these bolts. I still got to get the bottom one. Remember I told you put the easiest one in first. Easiest one is easy to do. And let's put our camera light right here. Make sure your rag doesn't get stuck in the bottom, but everything should be good. After you're all done and you put everything back together, flush out your transmission fluid. Okay, I do have video how to flush out the transmission fluids, drain and fill, and there's a drainer down there that you could check where everything is coming down from. So enough said. I am going to take both three of these bolts. I'm going to lock them up really well. Okay, got them all snugged. So I want to tighten them evenly. 1, 2, 3, okay? Okay, so right now we need to tighten these two. So what I like to do is I like to do the bottom one first. The reason is it is going to snug everything from the bottom upward, okay? So we're going to get this guy snugged, and then we're going to get this guy right here. If you want to torque it, you can do so, but if you're a mechanic, you should know the feel of this guy. Okay, so once you're locked in all three balls, nice and tight, you don't want to strip these, okay? You can't strip this because it's into aluminum. All it needs to be is held together. It's not going anywhere. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. And let me get the bottom one double checked. There you go. Nice and tight. We're all done, guys. Time for us to put everything back together. So let's start off by putting this guy in. Make sure this washer on this bolt is sitting back. I'm going to get this guy in. So what we're going to do here is this guy goes in this direction. So make sure both of the slots on the bottom go right in there. The washer will be an issue if you don't line that, and this guy will be an issue if you don't get this guy to come from the top here. And there you go, everything will sit there. And from here on, guys, I'm sure you guys can see the rest. Put everything back together, lock up the two bottom bolts on this guy and the 10mm for this little guy, and it's all done deal. Put the air duct housing, and then go down there, drain your transmission fluid, fill up your transmission fluid. I have videos on that, separate videos, and get everything in there, and bada bing, bada boom. That's how you're gonna change the transmission filter on this guy. Okay, I'm complete. Make sure you connect this. Make sure this is tight. Make sure this is tight. Battery holder is in. I got the sound system cable in. Got this connector in. Make sure this connector is nice and solid in, because you will have checked charging system if this thing is loose. Anyways, if by any chance you have all the lights in the dash, that's okay, because maybe the power is lost. Drive it around for a bit and things should go back to normal. If not, you might want to scan it and see what happened. Other than that, there should be no issues. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. I do need to pull out the fluid and put the fluid in, so make sure you do it complete.